Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. My presentation for my community speech class. My name is Angela Brown, and tonight I would like to talk to you about organ donation. And a man with a wonders if a heart will arrive. A woman walks without pain with a bone transplant, and a child grows up with a new liver. A family in the midst of a tragedy helps give life to others through organ donation. These are the stories of lives transformed by miracles of organs and tissue donations. These are the stories of Americans who gives and receives the gift of life. Each day, an average of 75 people receive organ transplant. However, an average of 20 people die each day waiting for transplant that can't take place because of the shortage of donated organs. Right now, there are more than enough people waiting for an organ to fill a large football stadium 2 times. Organ transplantation has become an accepted medical treatment for end-stage organ failure. That facts prove it, but only you can help make it happen. Organ donation is the process of giving an organ or a part of an organ for the purpose of transportation into another person. In order for a person to become an organ donor, blood and oxygen must flow through the organs until the time of recovery to ensure availability. This requires that a person die under circumstances that have resulted in irreparable neurological injury, usually from massive trauma to the brain, such as aneurysm, stroke, or an automobile accident. Only after all efforts to save their patient's life have been exhausted, tests are performed to confirm the absence of brain or brainstem activity. Organ donation can occur with a deceased donor who can give a kidney, a pancreas, a liver, lung, heart, intestinal organ. A living donor who can give a kidney, a portion of a liver, lung, intestines, or pancreas. Some facts. Data is showing that right now, as of today, there are 112,000 people waiting as a candidate for listing for transplant. The active people that are on the list today is 72,000. The amount of transplant that happened between January through August was 18,000. The amount of donors that was listed from January to August of this year is only 9,000. So statistics can sometimes be overwhelming and difficult to understand. One thing to remember is that every number, the stats you view is a person who either needs your help and is waiting for a life-saving transplant. Here are some interesting facts. In 2008, of living donors were women. The statistics is revised for deceased donation. In 2008, 67% of all deceased donors was white, 16% were black, 14 Hispanic, and 2.5 Asian. As of November 2010, the national waiting list was made up of 45% white, 29% black, 18% Hispanics, and 6% Asian. In 2007, there were almost 2.5 million deaths in the U.S. had donated, was an organ donator. Currently, more than 86 million people in the U.S. are signed up to be a donor. Becoming a donor. Organ and tissue donation and transplantation provide a second chance of life for thousands of people each year that have the opportunity to be one of the individuals who makes the miracle happen. By deciding to be a donor, you give the gift of hope. Hope for the thousands of individuals waiting organ transplant, and hope for the millions of individuals whose lives could be enhanced through tissue transplant. In response to the shortage of organ or transplant, relatives, loved ones, and friends serve as a living donor for more than 100,000 people on the National Organ Transplant waiting list. During the past 5 years, more than 6,200 transplants were made possible by living donors. However, donating an organ is a personal decision that should only be made after you are fully informed about the possible risks and benefits. Living donors should be in good overall physical and mental health, and free from uncontrolled high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, or organ disease. Most living donors are older than 18 years of age and are compatible with the intended transplant candidate. Since some donors' health conditions can prevent the donation and transplant from being successful, it is important that you share all information with your physician prior to becoming a donor. Unsure about donating? Don't let misinformed information. Don't let misinformed information keep you from saving lives. It can be hard to think about what's going to happen to your body after you die. Alone, donating your organs and tissue, but being an organ donor is a generous and wonderful decision that can be a lifesaver. Myths. The very first myth that people always have about donating is, if I agree to donate my organ, the hospital staff won't work as hard to save my life. That's a myth. When you go to the hospital for treatment, doctors focus on saving your life. Myth number 2, I'm too old to donate. There's no definite cutoff age for donating organs. Myth number 3, my family will be charged if I donate my organs. The organ donator's family is never charged for donating. Conclusion. Why should you consider donating? Now that you have the facts, you can see that being an organ donor can make a big difference, and not just to one person. By donating your organ after you die, you can save or improve as many as 50 lives. It's especially important to consider becoming an organ donor if you belong to an ethnic minority. Minorities, including African American, Asian, and Pacific Islanders, Native American, and Hispanics, are more likely than whites to have certain chronic conditions that affect the kidney, heart, lung, pancreas, and liver. Certain blood types are more prevalent in ethnic minority population because matching blood types is necessary for transplants. The need for minority donor organ is especially high. Thank you.